Hello and welcome to the Jake Gilbert Show, your chance to hear the thoughts and comments of the head football coach of the Little Giant program. And Coach, we get a chance to chat after the first game of the season, a 55-21 victory at St. Norbert last Saturday. And what a great weekend. It really began on Friday with the trip up. The guys got really a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to tour Lambeau Field, got a chance to do that, and then got to hear from a great alum, class of '82, Dr. Chris Carr, who's the behavioral psychologist for the Green Bay Packers. He talked to the team, talked about his experience at Wabash, and then you got to go out on the football field and see your team play for the first time this year. Just kind of recap the weekend for me and what it meant to you and what it meant to the players.
Well, you know, the theme for the weekend was launch, and we just wanted to launch the season, the program, under its new leadership in the right way, and we wanted to get off to a fast start and a great start in multiple ways. And I really felt like Friday set the tone for the whole out love and brotherhood piece that we're trying to build and strengthen, which is critical to us here at Wabash. So, gosh, what a great evening. We had a pretty good trip up, but the tour was excellent. Our guys really enjoyed it. Our seniors got to go into the Green Bay locker room. They saw Micah Parsons. They thought that was pretty special.
Couldn't recruit him, right?
Couldn't recruit him. He's out of eligibility apparently now that he's a pro, but we can't pay that. But he at least gave a wave. Our guys just had a great time. And hearing from Dr. Carr, Dr. Carr is pretty special to me individually. He's helped me at multiple stops in my career as we try to be elite in how we train the mind and encouraging for our guys' mental health. And, Dr. Carr's been great. So for him to address our team and really reinforce many of the things that we teach here to take care of our guys and how to get them to be at an elite level mentally, it was pretty special. So Friday could not have gone much better. Then Saturday we woke up and it's time to play football, and lo and behold, we came to play. So I was happy with the result. I was very happy that we got everybody in the game with the exception of a few kids that we took but held out so that they could play in the Red Squad game on Sunday, and it couldn't have gone much better.
Well, as we mentioned, a 55-21 victory, and let's start on offense. What a great day for Brent Campbell at quarterback, 305 passing yards, 4 touchdowns, really was on point. He comes out of that week as one of the top players in Division III in terms of quarterback rating. I mean, just very efficient throughout the game. Talk about his performance on Saturday.
Yeah, I just thought Brand was special. He really was. I mean, that's the vision we have for Brand, and I know it's the vision he has for himself. I just really thought he was special. He was explosive. He made good decisions. He took care of the football. He wasn't risky with the football. Sometimes there's a scale where, if you're the more explosive you are, the more you're going to turn it over. No risk it, no biscuit. And you have to gauge how much risk are we willing to accept in order to get the explosive plays we need. And those things aren't always mutually exclusive. We were explosive. 20% of our plays went for 15 yards or more, 1 out of every 5 plays. And the quarterback's the number one reason behind that. Brand was excellent and took care of the ball to boot. So very special with his legs, his mind, and definitely with his arm.
Carson Chad, a great game. He had 2 touchdown passes. One of those was one of those explosive plays, a big pass play that he then ran in for a touchdown. You got the same thing in the running game. Xavier Tyler got you a short touchdown run to open the scoring, but then Cole Dickerson broke a big run for you as well. So really, on offense, you had everything working. You had the short passing game, the deep passing game, and then the running game was effective with Xavier, as we mentioned, Cole Dickerson, and Connor Grimes, and Javon Gary all seeing action on Saturday.
I was really happy with the amount of people that touched the ball and did something quality with it. I think we had 8 or 9 guys with a catch. We had another 7 to 8 guys carry the ball, counting the quarterbacks. Just pretty pleased. A couple of receivers got carries too. I was pretty fascinated with the volume of playmakers who were effective. Now, if this were fantasy football, I'm not sure that I would have picked Carson Chad to have the longest gain of the day. But think about the versatility for a kid that size and strength. The inline tight end, he's been a very physical presence. He's a great player. And so I was happy just so happy for him. You know, he could have had a trifecta and had a third touchdown, had a chance at another one with a little bit better pass. I just, not that I didn't know that he was capable of that, but I just thought the ball maybe would go to different people in those lengths of catches. But he had a great catch and run after catch and showed tremendous athletic ability to run away from their defense at that size.
For the record, a 63-yard touchdown reception. So great play by Carson and by Brand. Defensively, you're going to look at the numbers, and St. Norbert scored 21 points, but they took advantage of 2 turnovers, scored on short fields. So defensively, your group really did a nice job, really closed out the game with an interception by Tony Flapp that then allowed you to run the clock out to end the game. And then we'll talk about the special teams play that created a touchdoan as well in a minute. But tell me about your defensive effort, what you saw on film and what you saw Saturday.
I wasn't disappointed. Overall, we tackled a little better than we did, say, against Rose and in the red and white. So I'm not happy with our tackling, but I am seeing improvement. And I feel like that was a very good offensive line. So, you know, we needed to stand in there and play big boy football and stop the run. And so I had some concerns about that. But all in all, the first 2 scores happened where we gave them the ball inside the 15. So that's not great that we gave up red zone scores, but we know the numbers. We know how it works. We were so magical last year in the red zone that we're upset that we couldn't get a red zone stop in this game. But the reality is, you know, when you give someone the ball in the 11, there's a good chance they're going to score a touchdown, and we gave up a couple scores that way. They never drove the ball on our first or second team defense, and then they scored 1 again late. So I was not overall disappointed. We forced 2 takeaways. I thought we had a third, and didn't quite get that one, but I was still happy overall with the defense.
You mentioned red zone. Let's talk about your offense in the red zone. 4 trips inside the 20, and you come away with points on all 4. 3 touchdowns, and then Brody Rucker with a 21-yard field goal. How important was that? I know you're stressing red zone this year. How pleased were you to come away with a 4-for-4 effort on Saturday?
Yeah, I was happy with the execution overall. Again, the red zone defense I wasn't happy with. I wish we could have gotten at least 1 field goal out of those 3 trips. The red zone offensively was good. The one we kicked the field goal on, we absolutely should have scored on that drive too. Just maybe a little quick trigger on a throw, but we were all in all pretty good. I mean, you have to be able to run the ball in the red zone is not for the weak of heart. You know, they don't have as much ground to defend, and so they're stacked in there, and so you have to be big and strong and physical and have big backs and tight ends typically to do that. I thought we ran the ball okay down there, and I felt like, again, we were pretty good at quarterback in the red zone. So happy overall with the red zone efficiency on offense. Definitely some things to work on defensively.
A couple of big keys on special teams. First, what was going to be the sole special teams play of the game, Gage Gully came in absolutely unblocked, blocks a punt, picks it up on 1 hop and races it into the end zone.
Just like we drew it up.
Yeah, exactly. We've seen some pretty special block and returns here at Wabash over the years, but that one was really spectacular. Great job by Gage. The only other thing to come close to equaling it, late in the game, you put Tyler Church in to give him a shot at a 44-yard field goal and banged that thing through without any trouble. It's the longest field goal by a Wabash kicker since 2019. Just tell me about him having that opportunity for that kick and then special teams play by Gage Gully.
Yeah, well, first, last year we blocked 7 kicks, so we have a tremendous emphasis on that. We blocked 1 on Saturday, 1 on Sunday, scored. That was enormous. It's hard to overcome that momentum shift when you get a punt block for a touchdown. So great job by Gage individually. We worked those techniques. He's an amazing football player and built for special teams. So that was the biggest play. Then what would have been the biggest play maybe was the onside kick, and they called us offsides. We were not, but they said our formation was illegal, so it probably wouldn't have counted anyway. But I was pretty proud of the way we executed that onside kick, and that's pretty aggressive for me. But I felt like it was the time. I just believed that it was there, and we needed to do it, and we didn't pull it off. And then The official said we were offside, but we got a defensive stop there, which was midfield as well. So I was pretty happy with our defense, and a couple of those stops were at midfield. But then third, we had decided at that point in the game, Tyler Church has done great. Brody is our starting kicker and punter, all three phases, but Tyler has worked hard. He's done a tremendous job. He's improving, and we just want to give him a shot. That was all. Well, he had the next kick, no matter where it was, and lo and behold, it's a 44-yarder, and we were debating what to do there. We're not trying to run up the score, but if you go for it and get it, that's maybe worse. So you don't really know what to do as a coach. You're not necessarily trying to score more points, but we needed the rep on the field goal. I thought, let's do it. And so for our next unit to go out there and hit a 44-yarder, kudos to them, and definitely kudos to Tyler Church for that.
Well, and kudos as well to special teams coordinator Tom Ferner. He joked after the Rose-Hulman game, he said, I'm probably out of a job because we struggled a little bit in the scrimmage on special teams. I think he kept his job on Saturday because special teams was exactly very special. This week, an unusual situation. The first team that I know of that's coming out of a tie since we instituted overtime in 1996, Case Western finished in a 17-17 tie with Rowan. Game was shortened because of lightning and severe weather. It's an unusual circumstance. We won't get into the conversation you and I were having before we started taping the show. Game was 17-14 when the final stoppage took place. They declared it a 17-17 tie. How do you prepare for a team that, number one, they only got a chance to be on the field for, basically 43 minutes, and you only have video on them for 43 minutes, right, not an entire game, and you would have been able to have seen what they would have done in some must-go situations in a three-point game like that had we been in the fourth quarter. So what do you do in terms of preparation for a team like that?
Well, you just have to use what you have and respond appropriately. There's nothing we can do. It's out of our control, so it's not ideal. But we didn't have a lot of film to go on last week either, so it is what it is. Basically, we worry about ourselves, and we make sure that we are owning our response and owning our own performance. Obviously, it would be nice to have a little more film to know what we have to defend and what they are going to do against us. But we have to use what we have. I feel very confident in knowing that if we win or lose, it's usually going to be based on our own play. So that being the case, we can always execute better. We've got to get better on first down on offense. We've got to get better in the red zone on defense. We have some things to clean up everywhere. We're not tackling well enough. So we still have plenty of that to fix, regardless of who the opponent is, what they do, how much film we have, whether they kissed their sister last week or not. All of that is it's helpful for our cause, but at the same time, it's about us.
We're going to go to one of the old football cliches. The best improvement you see from a football team is between week 1 and week 2. What does your Wabash football team need to improve going into this game this week?
Well, a lot of our focus right now is to just really seek out and embrace pressure, which may sound odd, but played pretty well week 1, and everyone's been pretty happy with the culture and all those things. But the last thing we want right now is some complacency. And there's a lot of warmth and familiar feelings when you get to play at home in front of this huge crowd, and it's wonderful, and we're happy about it. I just want to make sure we don't come out soft and complacent because we're at home, we think we played well, we feel good about ourselves. All those things are true. We did play well, and we are at home, and it is an advantage to play here. However, I want the pressure self-imposed so that we make those improvements and that we don't accept the amount of missed tackles we had or the turnovers we didn't quite get, or all those false starts on offense that we need to clean up. Those are things we need to fix. The fumble, we can do better.
For the fans watching in the stands, watching at home on the video broadcast, what are a couple of things that they should really pay attention to, either to your team on offense or defense or just the overall execution? What should they be watching for on Saturday?
Well, Case's offense last year averaged 40 points a game. I think they finished about 6th in the country in passing. So they know what they're doing, and they're hard to defend, and they make you defend the entire field. They can huddle, they can use tempo, they can spread you out, they can bring it in tight. They can do a lot. The quarterback has been dynamic. The last time we played these guys, I was the defense coordinator then as well, and we narrowly escaped a 20-17 win, I believe.
Thank you, Wes Chambly.
So yes, amen to that. So we are, playing without Wes this week, so we're going to have to defend these guys pretty well, and they throw the ball extremely well. So look for, are we pressuring the quarterback? Are we making things uncomfortable for him? Are we doing a good job in coverage and keeping him on his toes and getting to him and hitting him? I mean, in the end of the day, that's how you win football games, is you affect the quarterback on the defensive side. They're very well coached on special teams. Coach Jeff Ramsey, who used to coach here, who I have a lot of admiration and respect for. I'm sure he's got a good plan for us. So probably not going to be any freebies and probably not going to make as many plays as we did last week. Jeff will do a good job coaching that up. So we need to win special teams still, but it's going to have to come with execution. I'm not sure we're going to outthink them. And then our offense, we are, I think now that we have put a game on tape, they're going to know what to take away. St. Norbert was playing blind last week too, just like we were. So with us trading a game, I wouldn't be surprised if they have a lot better sense of who we are offensively. If I were them, I would certainly say we can't let this quarterback just have his way with us like he did last week. And I'm sure they'll have an answer for some of that. They're good coaches. Coach Deviljack's been at it for a long time, has won a ton of football games. So I'm sure they're going to try to take away something that we do well, and it won't be quite as easy for us on Saturday.
They're going to be a hungry football team coming in too. They have not picked up a victory with the tie last week now in their last 5 ball games dating back to last season. So they're going to come in hungry trying to get a win as well.
They started off 6-0 last year, and then I think they lost to some ranked opponents down the stretch. Kind of like us, a team that's trying to pound the table and say we belong, but everyone else is saying, well, prove it. Mm-hmm. And that's exactly where we are. No one wants to hear about the past. Rightfully so. They're saying, well, prove it. And that's what we're out to do Saturday. I'm sure they are as well.
That game will begin at 1 o'clock right here at Little Giant Stadium. It will also be Senior Day, so we will have an opportunity at about 12:40 p.m. to honor the senior members of this football team, both the players, managers, coaches, student coaches that work with the program on a daily basis. We'll honor them prior to that 1 o'clock kickoff. This show will begin our broadcast schedule on the Wabash College Video Network. And then Jim Amadon and Steve Hoffman will take you through the call if you can't join us in person. Of course, we would love to have you here at Little Giant Stadium. You can go to the Wabash website at sports.wabash.edu. Go to the sports calendar page for football, and you'll see the link for tickets. Make sure you get your tickets and come on out and watch this team in person. Should be an exciting year. Coach, best of luck to you on Saturday, and I know we'll look forward to talking about this game next week.
Thank you. Shout out to our Red Squad Junior Varsity for a huge win against Anderson Sunday as well.
37-0 victory.
Very exciting. Played a good weekend for us, Brent.
A good weekend all the way around, and a good win for the Indianapolis Colts as well. So a good weekend for football in Indiana.
See you Saturday. Wabash always fights.
You've been watching The Jake Gilbert Show. It's your chance to hear the thoughts and comments of the head football coach of the Little Giant program. We will talk to you next week.